Greg Hoffert will be happy having put themselves into third in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower, they need to drive smooth and smart.
Greg Hoffert is driving through Parabolica and is up -0.14.
Greg Hofar needs all the focus and resolve they can muster to maintain this pace.
Philip Van Staden is trying to find that extra performance.
Well, Lucy, they'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
You can feel the tension building. Jonathan Visser is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time. Jonathan Visser has some work to do as that 207.588 is only good enough for 6th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
JP Brand is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
Every driver needs something different, Lucy. Some drivers excel when they push harder, while other drivers benefit more from relaxing and being in a flow state.
There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Jamie Nichols is looking relatively composed going through Sachs Curve. Jamie Nichols will be happy having put themselves into third in this qualifying session. Ernest Basson is driving through Mercedes.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
Jonathan Visser is trying to find that extra performance.
Good question, Lucy. It's all or nothing now. They need to stay focused, hit their marks, and extract every ounce of performance from that car to move up the grid.
Jonathan Visser appears focused and prepared driving through Mercedes.
I have always loved this section of the track.
JP Brand is up -0.21. JP Brand has improved by -0.18 up through Sachs Curve. Greg Hoffert is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
They'll need to put together a perfect lap, hitting every apex and pushing the car to the limit without going over it.
Jonathan Visser is trying to find that extra performance. Jonathan Visser is looking relatively composed going through Mercedes. Philip Van Staden is looking for ways to improve their consistency. Philip Van Staden is driving through Einfahrt Parabolica. Peter Geldenhuys is trying to find that extra performance. Peter Geldenhuys appears focused and prepared driving through Mercedes. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Ernest Besson has some work to do as that 126.038 is only good enough for 8th.
There's still more time to be had, but I don't know if they're going to find it before the session is over.
Ernest Besson is looking relatively composed going through Einfahrt Parabolica.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
Philip Van Staden is looking for ways to improve their consistency. It seems like Philip Van Staden is struggling, currently 0.12 off their best pace.
Philip Van Staden is likely taking a deep breath to try and refocus their efforts.
Peter Geldenhuys is trying to find that extra performance. Peter Geldenhuys has some work to do as that 126.702 is only good enough for 10th. Philip Van Staden is driving through Einfahrt Parabolica. JP Brand is up minus 0.23. JP Brand will be happy having put themselves into first in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
Ernest Besson is looking for ways to improve their consistency. Ernest Besson appears focused and prepared driving through Mobile 1 curve. Philip Van Staden is trying to find that extra performance. Philip Van Staden is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.36 seconds down.
Philip Van Staden needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of.
Sean Motter is looking for ways to improve their consistency. It seems like Sean Motter is struggling, currently 0.43 off their best pace.
Sean Mater is likely taking a deep breath to try and refocus their efforts.
Ernest Besson is trying to find that extra performance. Ernest Besson is looking relatively composed going through Mobile 1 curve.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
Sean Motter has positioned themselves well in second during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
I completely agree, Lucy. Sean Mater has positioned themselves impressively in second. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
Sean Motter is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.74 seconds down. Impressive display by Philip Van Staden, currently sitting in position 9. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Philip Van Staden is driving through Sachs curve. Impressive work from Sean Motter. Sean Motter will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower, they need to drive smooth and smart.
Sean Motter appears focused and prepared driving through Einfahrt Parabolica. It's an impressive showing by Jacobus Besson, currently in fourth. They've showcased their talent, but will need to find those crucial extra tenths to climb higher. Jacobus Besson will be happy having put themselves into third in this qualifying session. A mesmerizing display from JP Brand in this qualifying session. They have left everyone in awe with their speed and precision. Currently leading the pack, they are setting the standard and sending a clear message to their competitors.
You're spot on, Lucy. JP Brand is showcasing exceptional skill and consistency in this qualifying session. It's a formidable position they hold, and their rivals will need to step up their game to challenge them.
Safety car. Speed 100 kilometers per hour.
It's a beautifully calm day here at Hockenheim, National, as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The calm before the storm. I don't know about you, Lucy, but I'm expecting some hard-fought battles on track today.
Sean Motter will begin the race from the second spot on the starting grid.
It's like they're on the outside looking in, close enough to see the front without actually being there.
It's Jacobus Basson, sitting comfortably in third.
Big things expected for Jacobus Basson today.
And in fourth place, we have Jamie Nichols.
Jamie Nichols will be expecting to bring home solid points.
Joni Geldenhuys will look to make a splash from the fifth position on the starting grid. The starting signal has been given, and the drivers face the uncertainty of the first lap. With cars packed tightly together, the potential for spins or collisions is high.
With adrenaline running high, some drivers may take unnecessary risks. Staying patient and knowing when to make a move is essential for a strong start.
As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at Simspeed Motorsports for making this all possible. Heroes one and all.
With this motley bunch of drivers, there is bound to be drama. I just hope we don't miss it.
The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this run.
It all comes down to this, Lucy, where the rubber meets the road. There's no more time for talk, no more practice. The teams have done all they can, now it comes down to JP Brand to bring it home.
Every lap is an opportunity for Sean Motter to learn just a little bit more to shave a few tenths or hundredths off their times.
The first lap can always be a bit of a melee as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
It's a steady race for Jacobus Basson so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they are maintaining their focus. Heartbreak for Jacobus Basson as they slip down the field.
Yes, but they can't give up. There's still plenty of time left in this race, and Jacobus Basson needs to stay focused and keep pushing.
This one's going to be tough. Sean Motter is getting their elbows out, and there may not be enough time left for JP Brand to make a move.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for JP Brand to make up that gap, especially with Sean Mater defending so well.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Philip Van Staden trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Peter Geldenhuys. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Peter Geldenhuys is not going to give up the position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Philip Van Staden in P10 doing everything they can to catch up.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car. The starting signal has been given, and the drivers face the uncertainty of the first lap. With cars packed tightly together, the potential for spins or collisions is high.
With adrenaline running high, some drivers may take unnecessary risks. Staying patient and knowing when to make a move is essential for a strong start.
3 cars, 3 different lines. They're jockeying for position, looking for any opportunity to make a move. This is what separates the best from the rest. These drivers are demonstrating their racecraft, searching for any weakness to exploit. It's a true test of skill. Oh my, JP Brand is hot on the tail of Sean Motter. As they come into Mercedes, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside. Look at that. Joni Geldenhuys is hot on the tail of JP Brand.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Johnny Geldenhuys is really walking that fine line.
This is what it's all about, folks. Jonathan Visser is in hot pursuit of Philip Van Staden, who's just trying to stay ahead.
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them valuable time and the position.
Sean Motter appears to be trying to find a way round JP Brand. They could make a move on them in Nordkurv.
If they get too close, they might end up taking the paint off.
This is what racing is all about, folks. 3. The starting signal has been given, and the drivers face the uncertainty of the first lap. With cars packed tightly together, the potential for spins or collisions is high.
With adrenaline running high, some drivers may take unnecessary risks. Staying patient and knowing when to make a move is essential for a strong start.
The tension is building as Sean Motter trails behind JP Brand. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. JP Brand is pushing to maintain the lead, while Sean Motter is working to close in and challenge for the position.
That's right, Sean Mater in second knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But JP Brand is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Ernest Besson in 6th chases after Jandre Bucas. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Ernest Besson needs to find a way to close the gap. Ernest Besson is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Sean Motter trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on JP Brand. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Sean Mater in second determined to catch up. But we know JP Brand isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Sean Mater is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
The delta between Ernest Besson in 6th and Jandre Bucas remains over a second, but Ernest Besson is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 18 minutes left in this session to make that happen.
Indeed, the anticipation is high as Ernest Besson tries to reel in Jandre Bucas. But Jandre Bucas is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Ernest Besson needs to find a little extra speed to bring the fight to Jandre Bucas and move up the field.
The race is heating up as Sean Motter in second closes in on JP Brand. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. It looks like Sean Motter is making a move. The gap to JP Brand is now down to 0.6 seconds.
That's a great effort from Sean Mater. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
The gap between JP Brand and Sean Motter is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from JP Brand to bring Sean Motter into play. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Sean Motter will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
It's going to be tough for Sean Mater, as JP Brand seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Sean Mater pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
The gap between Ernest Besson and Jacobus Besson is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Ernest Besson to even allow Jacobus Besson to get a look in. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Sean Motter, who is currently in P2. But JP Brand is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Sean Motter. As the race settles down, the drivers are really going at it.
It's like watching a high-speed game of chess. One wrong move and it could be game over. But these drivers are masters of their craft, always thinking 3 steps ahead.
That's right. And with the way they're maneuvering those cars, it's like they have superpowers.
It's almost like they have the power of flight. But instead of flying, they're speeding down the track like rockets.
I wonder if they have any spare rocket boosters for sale. The tension is building as Ernest Basson trails behind Jacobus Basson. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Jacobus Basson is pushing to maintain the lead, while Ernest Basson is working to close in and challenge for the position.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Jacobus Basson is not going to give up the position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Ernest Basson in P7 doing everything they can to catch up.
Things don't seem to be going Sean Mater's way in this race, as that's a big gap they'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Sean Mater is going to have to get more serious with practice if they don't want to be outclassed on the circuit.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Jacobus Basson trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Gendre Bucas. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
This is where experience comes into play. Gendre Bucas has been in this situation before and knows how to defend for position, but Jacobus Basson is hungry for success and won't give up easily.
It looks like Sean Motter is pushing hard to catch up to JP Brand. That's not a small gap, but Sean Motter has what it takes to challenge for the position.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between 2 great drivers, with Sean Mater in second determined to catch up. But we know JP Brand isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Sean Mater is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
No room for error here. Jacobus Basson is breathing down the neck of Gendre Bucas, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Sean Motter trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on JP Brand. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Jacobus Basson is on a mission, chasing Gendre Bucas, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
Jacobus Basson is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Gendre Bucas to 0.3 seconds.
This is what racing is all about. Hard-fought battles with as much determination as respect, between friends and enemies alike.
It's a nail-biting showdown between these 3 drivers. They're nose to tail, pushing their limits in every corner. The delta between Jacobus Besson in 6th and Gendre Bucas remains over a second, but Jacobus Besson is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 10 minutes left in this session to make that happen. It's game on now. Jacobus Besson has closed the gap to Gendre Bucas. It's now down to 0.5 seconds. The starting signal has been given, and the drivers face the uncertainty of the first lap. With cars packed tightly together, the potential for spins or collisions is high.
With adrenaline running high, some drivers may take unnecessary risks. Staying patient and knowing when to make a move is essential for a strong start.
This is a thrilling battle as Jacobus Besson edges closer to Gendre Bucas in their fight for P5. Disappointing for Jacobus Besson, they now find themselves in 7th.
That's got to hurt. Jacobus Besson will be kicking themselves right now.
Well, it doesn't look like Jacobus Besson is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Ernest Besson. It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Jamie Nichols as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time.
Anything can happen yet, and it usually does. I've certainly seen drivers come back from worse.
The race is heating up as Jacobus Besson in 7th closes in on Ernest Besson. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Oh, the pressure is intense. These three drivers are displaying incredible skill and determination. It's like a high-speed chess match out there. Good news for Philip Van Staden, the gap to Peter Geldenhuis has decreased. It's now down to 0.5 seconds. The gap between Gendre Bucas and Ernest Besson is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Gendre Bucas to even allow Ernest Besson to get a look in.
They certainly aren't going to be close enough to mount any kind of challenge soon unless it's down to a mistake from Gendre Bucas.
The gap between Ernest Besson and Gendre Bucas is getting smaller.
Exactly what Ernest Besson needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Gendre Bucas.
The crowd is on their feet, roaring with excitement. It's an all-out war between these three drivers. I can only hope the netcode keeps up with their fearlessness.
You're absolutely right, Lucy. The different strategies employed by these drivers add another layer of excitement. It's fascinating to see how they adapt their approach to gain a competitive edge.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Ernest Besson will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. We are used to seeing some hard-fought but clean racing here at Simspeed Motorsports. I'm expecting to see nothing different here today as this race unfolds. Three cars in perfect formation, creating a moving train on the circuit. They're using the slipstream to gain an advantage, but that's not always enough.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Lucy. The door-to-door action is exhilarating. The bravery required to go side by side like that is something only the best drivers possess.
They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing class. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Ernest Besson, who is currently in P6. But Jandre Bucas is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Ernest Besson.
Absolutely, Ernest Besson in 6th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Look at that, they're trading places in every turn, a constant game of cat and mouse. Each driver knows one mistake could cost them dearly.
You said it, Lucy. The different lines they're taking demonstrate their strategic thinking. It's fascinating to see how they adapt their approaches to gain an advantage.
The tension is building as Ernest Besson trails behind Jandre Bucas. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Jandre Bucas is pushing to maintain the lead, while Ernest Besson is working to close in and challenge for the position.
That's right, Ernest Besson in 6th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Jandre Bucas is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
Sean Motter has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with JP Brand. I expect their only hope at this point is that JP Brand makes an error. Sean Motter could be on a charge here, John. They have just put in a quicker lap than JP Brand.
As long as Sean Mater can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Ernest Besson is right on the heels of Jandre Bucas, and we're in for a wild ride.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. I would not bet on either racer at this point, as it's too close to call.
Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at Simspeed Motorsports. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that Simspeed Motorsports really is the place to be for top quality racing.
Hold your breath, folks. These drivers are showing exceptional car control, threading the needle through tight corners. It's a battle for supremacy.
Couldn't agree more, Lucy. This wheel-to-wheel racing is what fans live for. The determination and tenacity shown by these drivers to gain even the smallest advantage is simply awe-inspiring.
It's an intense battle for position as Ernest Besson tries to outmaneuver Jandre Bucas. This is edge-of-your-seat racing.
If Ernest Besson isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine, and trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
This is wheel-to-wheel racing at its finest. The drivers are practically glued together as they fight for every inch of track. It's a battle you don't want to miss. It's a battle of wills out there, with Jacobus Basson trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Ernest Basson. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
Indeed, the anticipation is high as Jacobus Basson tries to reel in Ernest Basson. But Ernest Basson is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Jacobus Basson needs to find a little extra speed to bring the fight to Ernest Basson and move up the field.
They're going side by side, door handle to door handle. This is as close as it gets, folks. I would not be surprised if these drivers swap positions a few times before the order gets ultimately decided.
No doubt about it, Lucy. The battle for that same piece of tarmac is intense. The sparks flying and the close quarters racing showcase the incredible skill and nerve of these drivers.
It looks like JP Brand has found another gear in the last sector of the race.
They're not leaving anything on the table.
And that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from JP Brand.
And that's why JP Brand is one of the best in the business. A dominant display of driving from start to finish, leaving the rest of the pack in the dust.
Sean Motter never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved second-place finish.
Intense race, but Sean Mater held their nerve and earned a great second place.
What a race from Jamie Nichols, showing their skill and determination for a great third-place finish. In 4th, 8th, and 9th, it's Greg Hoffert, Philip Van Staden, and Peter Geldenhuis. 5th sees Jandre Bucas. Ernest Basson and Jacobus Basson end in 6th and 7th.